I think I might have done something wrong again. So I don't know what it is about this process, but I just can't seem to get it down. I write it down, I don't know. I want to be 5 years old again so I can go through the technically challenged and just not be computer technically challenged. That's what I would like. But just let me know that you can hear me. We're just going to have a little bit of learning tonight. Hopefully we'll learn. I want you to feel free to ask questions. There's just a message I want to get across to y'all. Hi everyone, look who's all here. Hello. Oh my goodness, all over Ontario, Canada. Hi everyone. Yay, you can see and hear me. Last week we had an emergency call, so it's nice that tonight we don't have to have that emergency call. My son said he'll stand by ready. I said, no, please don't. I can do this. All right, so we're going to start off tonight. Our topic is the magic of one, and obviously the one means a pattern, one pattern. You know, if I go way back, we are 28 years as a pattern company. And if I go way back 28 years ago, my goal was to have 6 patterns. I know many of you know this. 6 patterns, and then help you get the differences and change ups and, you know, make them for you. Because that way we didn't have to keep dealing with fit every single time. I didn't realize the pushback I would get from that. I get it. I get you want me to do it. I got it. But I still want you to understand the concept of a base set of patterns and how valuable they are and how much faster your sewing will go and how many items can come from one. So that's tonight, the magic of one. The magic of one tonight is the tank top. And I can already hear you. You're saying to me, I don't wear tank tops. You're going to. Okay. And I don't mean to tell you what you're going to do, but I want you to see it from a different perspective. And I want you to be able to see it from my perspective. Oh, good. Everybody can hear. 28 years. I know. 28 years. My gosh, I was a baby. Didn't know what I was doing. And y'all gently told me that along the way. But anyway, I just kept hanging in. Maybe I'm just, I don't know, glutton for punishment. But anyway, I want to talk about the tank top tonight. And so what I've done is I've got quite a few pictures. I went shopping. I wanted you to see how much the tank top is out there. We're going to solve the I don't wear sleeveless dilemma. We're going to solve all of that. But I want you to be a little open-minded if you can, and we're going to talk tank tops. All right, so we're just going to, like I said, try to have some fun and a little bit of education tonight and all of the above. And hello, everybody. Everybody from all over. We got Canada, we got all over the place. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I always say welcome, welcome, and I sincerely mean it. Welcome, welcome. Okay, so I'm going to start with some photographs. Y'all know I love photographs because they just really do a lot in a very short period of time. And we're going to start with this tank top. So with this tank top, and I'm particularly talking about 514, but it could be any tank top. What we know about tank tops is tank tops can be knit or woven. And the same pattern works for both because all I have to do is give it a little more ease or make it smaller. I don't need a different fabric for the neckline or the armholes. It's still sleeveless is sleeveless. And it doesn't matter if it's knit or woven, it's still sleeveless. Okay. I get a lot of these questions. So just recognize that the pattern is for wovens just because that's the way I did it. But it could be knit or wovens. A tank top doesn't make a difference. But the first thing I want you to understand is with this photo is how the tank top works as a base. And often I'll make a pair of pants and a tank top to match simply because it gives me an option out so that if I want to wear the tank top with a new outfit or I can wear the pants by themselves. One little tank top gives us lots of different options. So first of all, I want you to see that. Create them. They are great under shawls. I'm going to show you my tank top that I have underneath here. They're great under jackets. They're just great under so many things. So that's the first thing we want to learn is that a tank top, it's really a base. And with our monochromatic being so popular today, that tank top is just going to be a very valuable closet ensemble for us. Okay. Then what I want to do is I want to move into fabrics that we can do it with, because it can truly stand by its own, by itself. And when I say that, I wanted you to look at this bias plaid. Both the front and the back don't need to be on the bias. You could just do the front, you could just do the back, or you could do both. But I put a couple fabrics up there that we have currently that would be great for bias little tank tops. Now, again, when I say this, I want to make sure you understand this is going to be the base of our wardrobe. We're going to build it into other things. So I want you to just first off look at the base and understand different fabrics that we can do in the base. Okay, this next one I want you to see, of course, is polka dots, because polka dots are just adorable. We have polka dots, we have big ones, we have little ones, we have all kinds of polka dots. Polka dots are classics. They're kind of somewhat considered a solid, even though they're not. I know they're not. But polka dots are just adorable. Polka dot little tank tops. They're just everywhere. Okay, then what I want you to look at is when we take a tank top, and you all, I think, can see the price points and the, oops, I'm supposed to go this way. Anyway, sorry. You can see the price points. You can see the designers that these are. You can see the prices, because as we go into the holidays, we're going to be looking for great little outfits. This is a great little outfit. Now, keep in mind, sorry you guys, I've got so much going through my head. One of the things I'm doing with the fall patterns, and the fall patterns will be out in a couple weeks, is in two of them, there's always a group of four, and my goal is for them to always work together. But in two of them, I'm putting in wraps, shawls, little wraps. And the reason being is because that's such a valuable piece of our wardrobe. And I'm going to show you a couple of photos where they've done that tonight. And I really want you to understand this power that this wrap has. In this case, I love this outfit. I wouldn't wear sleeveless just because I'm cold most of the time. And it's just not really what I'm comfortable in. But if I took the fabric that I made that skirt out of and made a little wrap out of it, it would be perfect. And I could take me so many places. But you can see that what that tank top does is it can become dressy, it can become casual, it's knit, it's woven, it can just go all over the board. We just don't want to leave out the tank top in our wardrobe. It's just too vital. It's too important. This one I just showed you because of the colors that are coming in for fall. Wine is a big color that's coming in for fall. But notice how simple it can be done, and also that we start to add the cap sleeve. I do want to talk a little bit here about about fitting, because I want to give you a few minutes. I love your comments, you guys. What could possibly make that tank top $795? This one's even more. This one's even more. You probably can't see the price, but it's just the name, it's the fit, it's the fact that there's people who buy very high quality names and they trust them. And so if they're going to add something new into their wardrobe, they just continue with that trusted base. And obviously, as you all know, many, many women do it because these companies are very large and very successful. We might mention Giorgio Armani. We could go on and on. Many women spend, in fact, the majority spend that much. Just recognize that as sewers, we're the minority who are making our clothes and getting a better value. That's a good thing. But it is about a value system, and you need to just recognize that, because it's certainly not anything else. The whole reason I wanted to show you these simple little pieces, because if you're new to silhouette patterns, or you're, thinking, gosh, what should I sew? Start with tank tops. Tank tops can take you from $100 to $1,000 to $1,500. There's just such a broad range of what tank tops can do. I think they're invaluable. I just really feel like they're invaluable. And I hope that you feel the same way. This is one I wanted to show you because what we can do as we cut those necklines and armholes a little bit bigger, we can add ribbing to them. And this just makes a great little casual, knock around little shirt. So they do go casual, they do go dressy, they go all different levels. This is one that was by she does all the ostrich. Anyway, it doesn't matter. I was in the store and found this. Typically, if I'm in the store and I find it, I try to go back and find it online, and it was not online. And as I'm learning more and more, there are many, many garments that are in the stores and not online. And I think that's good because I think that more and more women are shopping to see, hey, what's in the store. They're not just shopping online. So this is a great piece. It is a mesh, and that was a very expensive piece. I didn't put the price up there because I couldn't find it online, but that was over $1,000 for that little mesh tank top. So typically, a tank top will give us a great focal point, a great little accent piece, because we can use such loud fabrics, because it's just a little bit. And because it's just a little bit, we can put a wrap over it and it tones it down. It just makes an absolutely beautiful outfit. Sally LaPointe is who that tank top is, you guys. I knew it would come to me. I just didn't come right away. Sally LaPointe. So this is when I wanted you to start to see some wraps. Now, both of these, well, I don't remember, but I know at least one at Lafayette 148. Typically Lafayette 148 in their fall line, spring line, whatever, they will always put a scarf, and a scarf that's large enough to make as a wrap. So keep in mind that, like, I've got a tank top on, my arms are completely covered, nothing is showing, but simply because of the way the wrap is done, I'll show you how it's done. It doesn't, it takes on a whole other thing. I have done several wraps that are great for doing just that. You can look at 90, George's wrap, which makes a beautiful cover up for a sleeveless, and then I'm going to show you the one I have on a little bit later. Okay. Okay, this one is a Oscar de la Renta. I thought this was really interesting because this is a new piece. This is a cashmere piece that's out for fall. And in this piece, you can see the sweater and the wrap comes together. It's definitely a trend. You can see the triangle in the back. That triangle tells you that it's a square piece of fabric folded into a triangle and then simply wrapped around. And that's what I did with this, with my the piece I have on. It's simply and I did it because I wanted it to match. Certainly, it was really that was my inspiration. Let me close this up for a little bit, and then I'll come after it. I'll come back to it. Okay, so what I did. Oops, I'm sorry, you guys. My technical skills are still waning. So what I did on this one is I have my tank top on, and this was just the tank top I wanted. This is just a yard of the same fabric. And I know you're going to ask me the fabric number, and I don't know the fabric number. But anyway, I love this print. It's like a geo print. So you're just going to, I took a yard of it, just 1 yard, whatever the width is. I don't even know what it is. But I just took 1 yard. And because I saw that point on there, I know that it's folded diagonally. So I can fold it diagonally and create this triangle. And then I can just take and drape it. What it does is when I tie it, it secures it in place. And that's it. It's just that easy. But you recognize, when you start to recognize all that can be done with a little triangle or with a square folded into a triangle, you really start to see how many, tank top is just the base. If you're talking about winter and going into winter, we're going to put a sleeve in it, but just not yet. Okay, hold on just a minute. We'll put a sleeve onto it. Okay, so going back to this, that's the inspiration. And you can see that it's simply a sweater with that scarf attached. Because I haven't checked questions, I probably should check questions. Let me check questions for a minute. I wear dressy tank tops and sleeveless collar tops under my suit jackets and cardigans. Always. I do too. I really like, I'll tell you that I have a tendency to wear under jackets, to wear sleeveless all the time. But that has everything to do with the climate that you're in, because I know those ladies who are in colder climates, they like a sleeve on sleeve. It's not something I like at all. I do not like a sleeve on sleeve. So my tank tops are for always going to be under jackets. So if I'm making a suit, which is my jacket and my pants that match, I'm always going to throw in a matching tank top, so that, or at least I put the fabric aside for a yard, so that if I want to make the tank top, I have it, or a half yard, whatever it takes to make the tank top. All right? Did I hem the edges of the wrap? Yes, what I did is I just did a rolled hem all the way around the wrap, all the way around. So that way, it's very minor. You have to finish it on some level because it's, this is a woven. If it's a knit, you wouldn't have to, but a little rolled hem I think makes a great difference, and it really makes it look good, and it really stands out. It makes it look nice. Okay, so here's what I want to do now. I want to take the tank top in, and I want to recognize and help you see that what it becomes is a dress. I can easily put a skirt onto the bottom. If I make one tank top, and in that one tank top, that first tank top, all I have to do is mark my waist, and then I transfer where my waist is back to the pattern. Then I'm free to add skirts to the bottom, to add tunics, that one now transfers into so many others, and that again is what I want you to see, because each time I do that, I do not have to deal with fit. My fit is already accomplished. And I want to take a break for just a minute here, and let's talk about fit. Because what does the tank top have? It generally isn't going to give you issues with rounded back, because it doesn't have a collar and it's low in the back. So generally, even if the shoulder isn't exactly right, you'll get by and it will be okay. Some women have the shoulders, when I go to fit a tank top to them, their shoulders are wider. The shoulders, let me say this right. The shoulders are too wide to fit their bust. And so often I'll put a dart right at the front, in the center front and center back. It pulls in the shoulders, and that's an instant fix. If you need more in the hips, all you have to do is cut out to a larger size. The tank top has a bust dart. It's a B, C, and D cup size, so it just works for so many different figure types. And don't be afraid, just do a muslin, put it on. You guys know that the Q&As, you can send photos, I'll tell you what's wrong, but the tank top is a very simple garment to fix. Then we're going to come in a little bit later, we're going to add a sleeve to it, but I know I keep telling you we're going to get there, but we're not there yet. But with this little dress here, that is just a home run for, depending on the fabric, for weddings, for just all kinds of things. So I'm going to start to show you dresses a little bit now, all using tank tops as a base. I lied. This is one blouse. I wanted you to see our sheer fabrics are so beautiful. They're so popular right now. I did want you to see this sheer blouse, because what is that? That little tank top underneath. The tank top can be cut straight across and then little straps added. There's just so many neckline variations you can do. But again, that should be a partnership. Now, if you notice on this one, the solid fabric is what's used in the tank top. So the sheer itself is a different fabric. But that's just a beautiful look. It's very pricey. All right, here we go again. Now, you got to understand this whole sweater around the neck thing is really big for fall. So I guess this retro look, I don't know what it is, but you can wear a sweater around the neck, or you can just lower it onto your shoulders, kind of the same effect. Or you can wear it and wear it open, and then just pull up the sleeves. All right, this is actually one piece. So I wanted to show you this because this is actually, I saw this in the store, and then I came back and found the price and the designer and everything else. And this is Diane von Furstenberg. So interestingly, how she's taking a wrap, just a plain knit wrap top, and adding a voluptuous skirt onto the bottom. That's a viscose skirt, is that fabric, but all it is gathered into the waist of that top. So this is not anything you'd even want a pattern for, because you'd have to refit all over again. So when I see stuff like this, I hate to do a pattern, because then you just have to start over again. So that's where that magic of one is so important. We want to take the base, and then what we know about gathers is they're 1.5 to 1, or 2 to 1 at the very most, 2 to 1. This is probably 1.5 to 1. But it depends on how many inches we like at the bottom, and you want to do your homework and say, okay, I've learned that I love 60 inches around the bottom. And so there you have it. You just cut a rectangle, gather it into the top, and you have your dress that cost $425. You put the chunky necklace on, you put those great boots, you are set to go, girl. I think I lost where I was. Sorry about that, you guys. Okay. This next one I wanted you to see, this is also Diane von Furstenberg. These little tank dresses. Scoop dress, they call them, scoop neck, whatever. This is a little tank top. The advantage of making your own tank top, or making your own tank top dress, is we know where our modesty is, and we can decide that how low we want it or how high we want it. Sometimes I've done tank tops on ladies, and they've wanted the back cut higher. you know what, we can do that. For whatever reason, they want more coverage, and I've done less coverage. So we're the ones that get to decide. I think that's what I love about sewing is, you know, when we are not sewers, we're just subject to what's out there. We're subject to not only the choices they're making, but also the prices that they're charging us. And so it's an interesting mix when we decide to take that role. Okay, this one, again, stripes. We have some, I put some, oh, I didn't, but we have some great striped fabrics. This would be adorable. You can see those gathers that are there at the bottom. I've seen many of you do this. It doesn't have to be a little spaghetti strap at the top. It could just be a regular tank. You wear it with a little wrap, and it would be absolutely adorable. Or without. Either, again, whatever your modesty level is, it would work and work really well. Okay. And I need to check back on those questions, you guys. Again, when I'm always... It only takes a yard of fabric, yes. How far down to take a dart for bringing in the shoulders? Well, when you're bringing in the shoulders, the dart is right at center front. You're making the front shorter, or you could just draw them. If you have your sleeveless template, you could just draw them, okay? Yeah, I think that look, at different ages bring on different concerns that we have, the way we dress. And what I really enjoy is just being able to call and make my decisions as to what I want, and I'm much more comfortable in my outfits. Okay, that one is striped, and then this is the last one. I think it's the last one, yeah. Because I wanted to show you how the layers just go on. Now, this particular tank top has been risen up to the neckline. It's called a jewel neck with a little slit. Still use a tank top as a base. Now I've added a sleeve. How do I add a sleeve? All I have to do is go back to my templates. And we've talked templates so many times. For those of you who are new, we have, if you just search for templates on our YouTube channel, you will come up with templates and how to use them. And you can use a knit sleeve, you can use a woven sleeve. You've got your sleeves already down, you can just add them to the tank tops. This was actually 2 pieces. I know it looks like one, but it was actually 2 pieces. And that's why I say then you can add the skirt in. When you do that, you recognize that everything's in the right place because your tank top is already got the right bust size, got the right waist size, it's got the shoulder width you like, it's got all those beautiful basics there that we need. Okay? All right. So I want to take a minute to just kind of address some fitting questions, just in general, on the tank top in particular. Not in general, not fitting in general. You guys know that we do in Q&As. But in fitting a tank top, I want to always go for my bust first. If I'm doing a knit, I can go for negative ease. If I'm doing a woven, I don't need really any ease at the bust. I might need an inch, but you don't want to do a lot because you just don't want it loose. The tank top, you want to have almost a 1-to-1. A little bit more, but almost a 1-to-1. So that's where you're going to start. You're going to pick the size out by your finished garment measurement, and then you're going to go from there. There's no reason why you can't cut smaller to the top or larger to the bottom if you need to do that. You guys know how to do that, and it's perfectly easy. I think I'm preaching to the choir on that one. All right, let's read your questions, and then we'll see what's going on. Okay. When you say take a dart at center front, do you mean take a dart all the way to the hem? Yes. You take it partially, it doesn't have to transfer. A little confused. Yeah, so when you take a dart at center front, my tank top fits, so it's not going to work. But you're going to take, and my microphone's going to get hit, but you're going to take a dart right here, right there. And you're going to take it to nothing, and the nothing goes all the way to the hem of the tank top. And what that does is it brings in the shoulders. You're going to do it in the front. Typically you do it in the back also. And that will bring it in. And it's really easy to bring it in, and it just, again, it's if you have a larger bust and your shoulders aren't proportionate to your bust. I'll only do it with a lady who's got a really big bust and her shoulders are narrower than her bust. Otherwise, as you go through the pattern, it will fit beautifully. You don't need to cut one size. Cut it all the same size to start, and then do your muslin. Okay? All right, the magic of 1, you guys. So your 1 is a tank top, and all the things that can evolve because of it, use your tank top as your base. when you go through, do a knit size and do a woven size. You don't, you want to do, I don't make the same size in my knit as I do my woven. Again, it depends on the fit, but typically my knit is one size down. And always when I say one size down, it kind of makes me nervous because you guys will take me literally. It could be a half size down for you. It could be different, but for me, it's typically I go one size. Okay? All right. The tank pattern falls off my shoulders. Yeah, that's because your bust is large. I don't even know. But anyway, your bust is large. And so because you've picked the size that's large enough to accommodate your bust, and your bust is large, or larger than your shoulders, whatever, however you want me to say that, the shoulders are too wide. So just bring them in, easy to do, or you could draw them in. I should have done a picture, and I didn't do a picture, but you can extend the shoulder seam in and redraw the neck edge, and then just move the armhole in as well. Just move the whole top part in, pivot it in, and leave the rest of it like it is. All right? Okay, so today we had, I got some things I want to tell you about. Would you also take a dart in center back? Yeah, I would. Well, I shouldn't tell you I would, but in women who I have fit, who have needed a dart in the front, they've needed that dart in the back also. So I did both. Typically, before you do any changes, you guys please do a muslin. Don't just guarantee that it's going to need changes and not do the muslin. The muslin's really important. And it's only a front and a back. You can do the front dart. It just doesn't take but a minute, but it will give you a lot of information. Typically, if you have a forward shoulder, and you don't really need to do it on a tank top, you can add to the back and take away from the front. It doesn't really matter though, because there's no sleeve, and forward shoulders are problems for sleeves. They're not just problem for the garments. It doesn't matter where that seam happens, because the seam is just dividing the front from the back. There's no anatomical alignment of the seam. However, if you then put the sleeve in and the top of the sleeve matches a shoulder point that is too far back, then it starts to inhibit your movement. That's when it becomes a problem. But for the tank top by itself, a forward shoulder is not an issue that you have to deal with, if that makes sense, and why it makes sense. Do I need to do the alteration for forward shoulder? Oh, I said that. No, you don't. If you add a sleeve, yes, you do, because it's the sleeve that becomes the mobility issue. It's not because of the tank top. It's not because of the sleeveless garment. Okay, does that make sense to you guys? Okay. All right, the other thing I want to cover is, in your email today, you had a coupon code. There's some fabrics that are, I think, 35% off today, aren't they? 35% off? Use your coupon code to get that. We have 5 days left. What's today, Tuesday? Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. We have 5 days left for the Serger giveaway. We have another Serger giveaway Monday. It'll go through Sunday night, just to make you aware. So anything you purchase on the Fit to Stitch site, we're still trying to kind of earn our production costs. So we really appreciate your help. We have Series 14 that's available. Series 13 is what's playing out there right now. The 514 is a pattern that is on the Fit to Stitch site, so that's a great way. And we do have a new product, but that's not going to be out just yet. Won't be out until next week. I shouldn't have said that. Okay, so any other questions that you guys have? The power of one. It's your tank top. Get your tank top. Do y'all believe me? It's really true. That tank top is so powerful. Play with it. Just have some fun with it. And then let me know if you have any questions, and you guys know I'm here to help. Okay? Are there other changes you need to make to bring the back neck edge up? No, you don't need to bring any changes. Just use your French curve. Just use your French curve and go up or down with it. It's all style. That back neck is all style. So if you want it to be a little bit higher, add to the center back seam, and then just redraw the neck edge. But it can be from the same original point that it started from. You don't have to do a different point. All right, really easy to do. All right, what else? I believe that. Thanks, Paula. All right, I want you to really realize. Now, the reason I chose the tank top, just to explain this, because I've always said if I was lost on a desert island, or if I was shipwrecked on a desert island, If I had 2 patterns, it'd be the sweater set and the yoga pant. Okay, the problem is, once you have the knit, it's harder to go back to the woven. The woven is the better base to start with, and then go to a knit. So that's why if you're going to have one, you're better off to have the tank top, and then go to a knit. Just an FYI. Okay? The power of one, our little tank top. Where do I send my pictures to you? Peggy at silhouettepatterns.com. Peggy at silhouettepatterns.com. Peggy, I'm not large breasted, I have narrow shoulders. Well, then I don't believe the shoulders are too wide for you. So I'm going to challenge you. I'm assuming you're using 514 and you're saying the shoulders are falling off. So we're going to put you to the challenge. Are you using 514, number 1? And number 2, I don't know what size you're making, but something's off. I know that pattern really, really well. I don't want to call anybody out here, but you're going to let's go through the process and find out, okay? Okay, do you have any muslin fabric on sale? I don't, but I'll put it on sale. I'll go put it on sale tonight. I'll give you a little price break on that. So don't order muslin until you see the sale price come up. I'll put the knit muslin and the woven muslin, I'll put them both on sale. Okay? Thanks for asking. Okay, because really, I mean, this is, I want you to make a muslin sale. How's that? That's how convinced I am. I want you to make a muslin, we'll put it on sale. Is that a deal? We have the power. Yes, you do. Oh, and you said you accept the challenge. Good, I appreciate that because I want you to understand that there are times when, and please take this in the spirit of what I'm saying, there are times when women will tell me what's wrong. They don't send a picture, but they tell me what's wrong. And then, in fact, when I do get around to solving it and get the picture, it was the wrong diagnosis. And so pictures, I love pictures because I can actually tell you what's happening. And plus that, if you send pictures, we'll put on a Q&A and everybody can learn from this. And I think that's really where we're at, isn't it, you guys? Is everybody's learning and growing, and it's wonderful. It's really wonderful. Okay, good. Could you make a boat neck with this pattern? Of course, as long as you know how to make a boat neck. Okay. As long as you know the rules of making a boat neck, yes, this is where it starts from. Okay. How is the regular tank differ from 514? The regular tank, there's only one tank. We only have 514. It's a 4-way tank top. There's 4 different styles in there because when I was doing a tank, I wanted to offer you all these different styles. So it's all the same thing. Great way to get the Sojo revved up. Yes, let's do it. Let's make tank tops, okay? It's a great time to practice. We could have all kinds of, you don't need to sew along for a tank top. It's only 4 seams, but anyway. No, there's 2 darts, 2 side seams, 2 shoulder seams. There's 6 seams. Y'all can handle this. And it's next to no time at all to make. And again, a lot of times if I'm making a suit, I'll put aside fabric so that in case I want to wear a tank top later, I don't always get it made, but it gives me an option down the road. I can't tell you how many times I've made a suit and then somewhere I'm wearing, I thought, oh, stupid, I should have made a tank top to match. And I didn't. So I've learned my lesson and I don't, I always make my tank top now. All right, that's your lesson for the night. All right, you all. We have a photo shoot tomorrow. I have lots to do tonight. That just means I need to get working and get busy because my goal is to bring you these fun, exciting new patterns. I'm so excited about them. And one of the silks, we have the stretch silks. Did you guys see these silk knits? They're like incredible for $24.99. One of them is the pattern cover. I think I mentioned it when I was going through them, but get your silks. Get your silks. Stretch silks makes beautiful tank tops. Okay. Oh, that's right. I forget. Thanks for the reminder, you guys. You are supposed to like and subscribe. Hit the like button. Share. Make comments. I love to read your comments, you guys. I should say, most of the time I love to read your comments. There's times that I cry when I read your comments. But most of the time I like to read your comments. All right, you all. You know I love you. I appreciate you just immensely. Thank you so much for watching and being here tonight. And we'll see you on Thursday. Bye.